Suppose we existed in a manner similar to the Romans? Dive in with us to explore. 2 millennia ago, the Roman Empire cast its vast net over the globe. Our current societal structures owe much to the Romans, yet this grand era inevitably concluded. In our video today, we're diving into a world where Rome endured without a fall, presenting a unique alternate dimension. What would today be if the Roman Empire persisted? For ages, Rome's influence has been a cornerstone in global affairs, its might visible from the era of the Roman kingdom to its contemporary role as the Catholic Church's heartland. Few locations have enjoyed such prolonged prominence. But imagine if the colossal Roman Empire still stood tall in our times. Welcome to Unveiled, and we're delving deep into the captivating query: what would it be if the Roman Empire persisted? After dealing with historic dilemmas involving figures like Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, and Egypt's iconic Cleopatra VII, the Roman Republic was left in turbulence. This chaos set the stage for Augustus, the pioneering emperor, to reinstate Roman stability. This stabilization occurred in 27 BC. While Rome was already influential, its outreach expanded rapidly across regions of Europe, Northern Africa, and Western Asia, peaking around 117 AD. Rome's unmatched military strength, affluence, and influence powered its relentless territorial conquests. However, this insatiable ambition to expand proved to be its Achilles heel. From the 3rd century, the empire confronted multiple challenges. Its vastness became its liability, with governance becoming increasingly challenging. Enemy forces began eroding its vast territories. The Western Roman Empire's closure is often pinpointed to 476 when Ravenna, then the empire's nerve center instead of Rome, succumbed to Germanic military coalitions. The final emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was overthrown and exiled. By the year 480, Rome's epochal chapter was closed. However, 480 wasn't the concluding chapter of the Roman Empire, as historians would attest. Only the western segment faced dissolution. Earlier, the empire was bifurcated into the Western and Eastern Roman divisions. Constantinople, formerly Byzantium, was the pulsating core of the Eastern Empire. Recognized today as the Byzantines, they held sway over vast territories for the subsequent 1,000 years, ultimately succumbing to the Ottoman Empire in the late 1400s when Constantinople's fortifications, today's Istanbul, were overcome. During its zenith in the 6th century, the Byzantine Empire's reach mirrored its forerunner. It held domains in Africa, Greece, and Turkey, and extended into sections of the Middle East. Following Emperor Constantine the Great's 4th century conversion, they predominantly represented the Christian faction of the Roman Empire. A common narrative posits that post the Western Roman Empire's decline, the entire Western realm regressed into obscurity, relinquishing Roman innovations, spanning societal structures to groundbreaking inventions. This subsequent epoch is termed the Dark Ages. However, this era wasn't shrouded in gloom as presumed. The title Dark Ages stems primarily from the loss of significant records and literary works from that era, rendering us ignorant, not the denizens of the period. Later historians propagated the notion that Rome's fall triggered societal backpedaling. In truth, Europe wasn't devoid of leadership for an extended duration. Aside from the Byzantine Empire's persistence, ascendant barbarian dynasties emerged, the Franks among them. By the 7th century, Arabian consolidation paved the way for Islamic expeditions. Come the 11th century, numerous European monarchies emerged, initiating expansive endeavors, including pilgrimages to the sacred lands. Successive empires rose and crumbled in Europe until the 1900s, each time with another nation eager to commence territorial expansion. The Ottoman Empire, responsible for overtaking Byzantium, persisted until 1922, paralleling other formidable European empires that met their end in the same era, such as the Russian, French, and British empires. The British Empire, mirroring Rome at its zenith, once stood as the globe's mightiest. Would a persistent, all-encompassing Roman Empire spanning an additional 1,500 years have deterred numerous European, initiated wars in contemporary history? It's conceivable. The most lethal confrontation in human chronicles is World War II, a direct repercussion of World War I, with participating nations recreating similar coalitions. The global extent of World War I, despite its European-centered conflicts, is attributed to Europe's expansive empires and their colonies, conscripted to counter Germany. The sequel, World War II, had identical patterns. Numerous ex-British colonies partook with the understanding of post-war independence, which largely materialized, marking the twilight of this brand of colonialism. Yet, had Rome retained its grasp over Europe, not only might both world wars have been circumvented, but numerous European-centric wars might have also been side-stepped. This encompasses conflicts such as the late Middle Ages Hundred Years' War involving England and France, and the 19th century Crimean War pitting the Ottoman Empire against Russia. With Roman hegemony dictating Europe, the rise of European monarchies appears improbable. Considering there wasn't a singular English monarch until the 10th century and a unified England-Scotland realm only emerged with James I in 1603, this is evident. A parallel narrative unfolds in France, where Philip II emerged as the inaugural King of France in the closing phase of the 12th century. Absent this development, events like the French Revolution, a pivotal decade spawning transformative political ideologies akin to ancient Rome's, would be non-existent. Had Rome's boundaries extended sufficiently north, encompassing Western Russia, not only would the Tsarist Russian monarchy possibly remain unrealized, but the Russian Revolution's birth of the Soviet Union, hence, its Cold War with the US, might also be an historical omission. Might the United States even be in existence? An ascendant Rome would surely have sought to navigate the Atlantic eventually. But would their pursuits mirror that of the Spanish explorers and the English settlers in the New World? The decline of Rome happened 2 centuries before the birth of Islam. An ever-expanding Roman realm into Africa and the Middle East could possibly disrupt the emergence of Islam, which today stands as the world's second-largest faith. Given that the Islamic Renaissance brought forth revolutionary innovations such as algebra, windmills, and foundational elements of modern chemistry, a dominant Rome might have ushered in a genuine Dark Age during the early medieval era. At the minimum, Islam would have a different visage and possibly wielded less influence. However, amid the potential losses, there might have been gains. The Romans contributed significantly to territories they subjugated, especially in erecting infrastructures like highways and water channels. Truth be told, even if Rome's decline wasn't marked by the capture of Ravenna by Germanic forces, its end would have been inevitable. As majestic as global empires have become, their fall is an eventual certainty, be it due to internal implosion like Rome or conquest by a mightier force, as seen with Byzantium. Thus, it's a stretch to believe the Roman Empire could have sustained for 2 millennia. Furthermore, a fortified Rome resulting in intensified Silk Road commerce might have rendered the 14th century plague even more devastating, potentially bringing Rome to its knees sans any external competition. The descent of the Western Roman Empire culminated after prolonged political unrest and decay. Yet, the resonance of Rome has seldom ebbed and is palpable in today's era. And that paints a picture of a world where the Roman Empire remained unvanquished.